Hey guys, welcome back to Heiko Shaves. We need to do another shave, as you can see. Again, about 4 days of growth. I started doing that for you guys just to have a little bit more material to chop off. And I just recently had a conversation in the comment section on one of my older videos, my first shave on the Yaqi Torqx, which obviously is a clone of a Russian-made home-like Elbrus, which is now discontinued. You can't buy it anymore. They used to make it in stainless steel and in titanium. Apparently, when you make high quality stainless steel or titanium adjustable razors, there is only so much of a market for it, and making it so that it actually functions properly, the adjustment works properly and all that is kind of complicated. So a lot of manufacturers, they have to spend a lot of R&D and making prototypes, testing, again changing the design and then redoing it again. That it turns out to be not very profitable to make those really high quality adjustables. So it happened with Homelike that used to make the Tiger, which is a close comb, and then the Elbrus. And actually, the Tiger was available as a close comb and as an open comb, if I remember correctly. And the Elbrus, which is like the extreme slant here. And they have stopped making those altogether, at least at this point in time. Who knows what the real reason is? I was just recently on their webpage looking around. And then I had this conversation in the comment section. So I just wanted to correct what I said in the first video of this Torqx here. Of course, this is a clone, and cloning something is always a little bit easier than coming out with the original design. So if you are the one that actually has the initial thought and the initial idea of making something like this, and then you have to put in all the R&D to actually make it happen, it's much more complicated than just buying one and then, how they say, push it into sand and make a casting out of it and then just clone it. So this is obviously a clone, a copy of the Elbrus with their Yaqi's own design to it. I guess the knurling on the handle is different. This seems to be working really well. The adjuster lines up pretty well. So when I put it to 1, it goes to 1. And when I put it to 6, which is the highest, it goes to 6. Everything aligns really well. I've shaved with it now a few times. I really like it. It is not as cheap as you might think. So usually the Yaqi adjustable razors, they were like around the $140 marks. And then during a big sale, you can get them for $110 or maybe $100. This one here is already $165. Let me grab my phone here real quick. I just had that open. Just wanted to see what the overall price level is. So where is it now? Yeah, when you're looking for one razor and then, $191. So the home-like Elbrus, which Russian made, importation of Russian products was limited or is still limited. That probably didn't help the situation for Homelike to make this product. So Homelike is the brand name. It's HLSHomelikeshaving.com is the webpage. Oh no, it's not .com, it's .ru. So they had a hard time, and their stainless steel Elbrus was about $400, so significantly more expensive. And then when Yaqi suddenly started making this one here, probably didn't help their cause either, because now suddenly they had a competitor making an exact clone or copy of their razor. $191, so this is a little pricier considering this is a clone of something. But overall, it's still a very well-performing razor. I really like it. And I had another conversation, different video, comment section again, that I actually never decided which Yaqi Slant razor I like better. Here's the Yaqi Ultima. I kept calling it the Slant, but it's actually the Yaqi Ultima Slope, as they call it, and the Yaqi Torqx. Which one do I like better? This is a mild slant, and this is here extreme slant. And I want to put those up against each other, one side, the other one on the other side. And I decided to do a warm shave today of all warm water. I have my Goodfella Smile scuttle filled with warm water. I have a Yaqi 24 millimeter Badger brush pre-soaking in warm water. I have everything warm water. And we're going to use my Cella aftershave balm and Cella shaving cream. Man, can't speak. I can't speak. The Cella shaving cream, the nice almond scented cream that I really like. I wish the aftershave balm would have the same scent, but this is more like a generic, you know, doesn't match at all. But we're going to use that. And then if I still need any kind of skincare after that, we're just going to slap that on. Before the shave, we're going to use Proraso White Sensitive Pre-Shave. And so we're pretty much set now. I just have to grab a couple used blades. You guys saw in my behind the scenes tour that I have magnets on my mirror with multiple different stages. So 1 shave, 2 shave, 3 shave, 4 shave. And then after my 5th shave, the blade goes into my little storage container here, that one. So I want to use up some of those used blades here. And we're going to go and find 2 feather blades that have been used twice. So they are both equally old or equally used. And we're going to slap them into those 2 razors here. So let's start with the Torqx. Take the bottom loose, take the top out, flip that on your hand. Grab one of your used blades. Just stick it on there. Works well. Lines up with those alignment tabs. Then take the bottom and stick it on there. Squeeze it together with your index finger and your thumb. And then tighten it up. And then we're going to set it to, if I remember correctly, so there is a tiny little dot there. I don't know if you guys can see. I will zoom that in for you when I edit it later. Sits exactly at 1. So the alignment is perfect, but the dot is a little small. It could be a little larger. The numbers, yeah. If someone is bored, they could probably take some paint marker or some nail polish and mark this with red or white or fill in the little dot in the numbers. So we're going to put this to 3. Kind of midway. Alignment looks great. The razor really looks great. Of course, there's probably a quality difference between the Elbrus, which I have never shaved with, I have never held in my hand, and this one here. This is mass production. I don't know exactly how large Yaqi's production line is, but looking at the catalog of razors they have, and a catalog of brushes they sell, and a catalog of other razor or shaving related items, it must be quite an impressive manufacturing there. So they have a bunch of different razors available. I just noticed they have another slant razor, which is based on the Merkur 37, which is a slant razor, which is similar to the Razor Rock German 37, somewhere back here, this one here. So maybe we try this out against the Yaqi. We'll see what happens. Anyways, so let's do the second one. This is the Yaqi Ultima Slope. Flip the top on your hand, put a blade on it, don't cut yourself, aligns nicely, flip that over, pinch it together, tighten up, and then we're gonna look at the adjuster here. That also goes to perfectly to a 1. The dot is much larger, the numbers are larger. Here, quick comparison. So this one is much easier to read. Maybe if you need reading glasses, but you don't want to wear them while you're shaving, this one is already the better option. We're going to put that to a 3 as well, kind of in the middle range. And now we're going to, I have to pause, refill my sink. My sink is draining down water. That kind of sucks. So I'll be right back, guys. Alrighty, so we filled the sink. Didn't want to forget to also mention the price for the Yaqi Ultima Slope. This is 145. So this price hasn't gone up much. This is, by the way, serialized. And I'm assuming they do that to be able to figure out, you know, what kind of version of razor this is. They must have modified this also a few times. I think they also make different handle designs. So I have this swirly pattern here. It's almost like a threaded. And I think that there are other options. Let's look at the one on AliExpress has exactly the same handle as mine. So I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on that. Didn't look around that long. What really is still missing in my collection is the brass Yaqi Ultima. Yeah. Oh no, it's actually the final cut in brass. I'm wrong. It's not an Ultima. It's the final cut in brass. I had no idea that you guys remember the original final cut, this one here with a gunmetal gray handle. They also make a final cut open comb. They make a Ultima stainless steel open comb, but I had no idea that they make a $31 the Final Cut open comb. Might have to look into that one too, right? Since I already have the big Yaqi collection here, I might as well have all of them. All right, so let's get going here. Let's get going. Razors are ready. Let's get the face moist a little bit just to put the pre-shave on top, like that. And then we're gonna grab a fingerful of that nice creamy Praso white pre-shave. All right, and I think I have to take another quick little pause because I forgot a towel. Guys, I need a towel. Hold on, guys. All right, so I'm back. Now the pre-shave is completely dried up just by me looking for a fresh towel. So we'll just pretend this never happened. Brush is pre-soaked. My razors are filled. Now we're gonna grab our Cella almond shave cream and scoop a little out, not too much. And then we're gonna squeeze that at the bottom of my nice warm scuttle here. Throw my spoon in my sink. All right, and so we're ready to go for some lathering here. So pre-soaking badger brush, Yaqi 24mm with a nice green handle here. I just squeeze most of the water out of the brush. You don't want to start out with too much water in your lather. I rather add it as I go. So let's go right in here. Don't forget this is a cream, so it's relatively soft. It will most likely be picked up by the brush immediately, and that doesn't really help the situation. But I think it's working. Big bubbles, so we'll have to work this a little bit longer until it's nice and creamy. Wow, it's almost coming out of my scuttle and it's going to be warm. Nice. Well, okay, let's scrape this off a little bit and then just transfer it over into my face. I love the almond scent of this cream. I wish they would make a hard puck soap, or at least a soap that's a little harder than the creamy stuff. They usually tend to lather a little nicer. There you go. Made a little bit of a mess here, slinging it all over the place. And now we're going to grab our two razors. Let's do the slope on the right, setting 3. Everything is tightened up. Alignment looks very good. Serialized, engraved DLC Yaqi. And here we go with the grain. Feather blade. Very good. At setting 3, it has a fair amount of blade feel. Or I shouldn't say fair amount. I think sometimes people misunderstand what I'm trying to say. You know, I'm not native speaker English. This is second language for me. So when I say something looks like something else, that doesn't mean I mean it's the same. So if the Torqx looks like the Elbrus, doesn't mean that it's exactly the same. Obviously it isn't. It's manufactured by 2 different companies. This one here has, at setting 3, a amount of blade feel that I like. Of course, you can go milder. You can go down to setting 1, which I just did, just for funsies. And it still shaves at 1, which is good, but it starts out milder. So this side, first pass almost done. Very good. This is, again, one of those razors where the razor blade has only a slight curvature to it. So it's not bent very steeply, which the more rounded the blade is, the gentler or the difference. Oh my goodness. Steep angle, shallow angle of attack, right? So the more rounded the blade is, the more shallow of an attack angle you have with that blade. And that usually makes it feel a little milder. Makes it feel a little bit more gentle. And this one is a little bit more of the steeper angle. And now we're going to switch over to the Torqx. Also tighten up, setting 3, alignment looks good. If you can even talk about alignment on this extreme, this feels so nice. Right out of the gate, it's a huge difference in feel. There is blade feel, but it glides much better. I don't know, this whole design, this whole extreme curvature of the blade, it seems like this one has a little bit of a shallower attack angle, so it slices through the stubbles much nicer. So the question in the comment section was, which one do I like better and would recommend for a beginner? This one, hands down. I'm not even done with the first pass and I already know that I like this one better than the Ultima Slope. I just lowered this also down to setting 1 just to see if it actually still shaves. And it does. It doesn't take it off as easily as the Slope did. See the difference? How dark this is still? And here's the stubbles is gone. Let's crank it up to 3 again and see if I can. Shaving performance is different though. All right, let's clean up the bottom here. I might have nicked myself just now. Yeah, interesting. There is definitely a difference in result. This is much smoother here on this side than at least in my mustache section here. The rest is even. Interesting. From a feel perspective, the Torqx did a better job. From the shaving result perspective, the Slope did a better job. So let's lather up again. Get a little bit more warm lather on the brush here. Oh, looks good. And smells even better. Let's wet this down a little bit more. Like that. I still have half a mustache over here. Very good. Very nice. Okay, let's do second pass with the Slope. And I think I'm going to put it at number 3 again. Across the grain. Yeah, once most of the stubbles are gone, this one also feels very mild. Let's crank it down to 1 just to get the feel difference. Yeah, this is at setting 1 and I'm perfectly happy with this. I never zoomed in for you guys either. Today I'm a little confused here and my procedure is not all in line. Forget my towel. My water was draining out. So now we're going to do the same with the Torqx on the other side. Let's start at 3 again. Setting 3 across the grain. Now on the second pass, setting 3, they both feel almost equally as mild, or equally mild. Going to do the rest on setting 1 just to see. Very good. Yeah, the second pass usually does the trick for me. Now we're almost even. I think 3 to 4 days, especially here in my goatee section, is almost too much for a normal shave. This is almost like taking down a beard already. So we definitely need a third pass. And we're going to do that. Let's grab a little bit more warm lather. Look how much I still have here. We could probably do another 5 passes. The cream is very compatible with my skin. There's no burning sensations, no irritations from the soap. The scent is very agreeable with me as well. If you like almonds or marzipan scent, this is just lovely. This is a nice winter scent, I think. The badger brush here, Yaqi, that was a really stinky one when I first got it. But by now it's opened up really nicely. It works really well. It's very nice and dense. It lathers really well. Very good. Very, very good. So now let's do setting 1 against the grain. And obviously there's still going to be a little bit to shave off. All 3 kids are at home, sick. My wife is teaching at my kids' school, so she's at work, my kids are at home, and Heiko is on night shift again. Very good, very good. Very good. This is BBS, guys. All right, and now we're going to stay on setting 1 here with the Torqx as well. Oh, we're doing against the grain. See, I already forgot what I was doing. Very good. Seems like there was a little bit more left here on this side. Or it's just more audio feedback from the razor. That might be as well. At setting 1, the Torqx is milder than the Slope, for sure. Milder and I would say a little less efficient. But you can always go up, you know, that's the nice thing about an adjustable razor, that you can always crank it up a notch. Okay, let's do a very subjective comparison here at the end of 3 passes. I would say it's fairly similar. I forgot a bit there. I think the Slope, the cheaper of the two, is a little bit more aggressive, but also more efficient on setting 1. So right out of the gate, this, you know, gives you a little bit more blade feel. It is a little bit more efficient on setting 1, and it's perfectly acceptable. So this is maybe a 1.5 on my aggressiveness scale setting 1, and this is a clear 1. This is really mild feeling. You almost have to search for the correct angle until you feel the blade interacting. So if we would do the negative versus positive blade exposure test here again with our straight edge, put that from the close comb to the top cap and slide across the blade, there is no positive blade exposure. Whereas here on the Slope, if we do that from here to the cap, there is definitely, it's very close. It's also a neutral blade exposure, I would say. So nothing positive here on this one either, but I think you get a little bit closer contact with the blade with this one than with this one. But then again, you can open this up here and you can go even past number 6. So now we're at 6, look at this. Now I can go to 7, 8, 9, roughly almost to 10. You can open this up and use it like a, you know, like an open straight razor. And here on this one, we can go from 1 to 6, 7, stops at 7. Also quite a big gap there. So I would say this starts out a little bit more efficient. If you look for ultimately very mild, I would go with this one. Little bit of a price difference. Just wait for a AliExpress sale and you're gonna get those a little cheaper. The Torqx, probably a little harder to manufacture, and that's why it's a little bit more expensive. Alignment is great on both. And the result after 3 passes is very respectable. All right, let me rinse off. All right, nicely rinsed off. Skin is still pretty happy. This was a nice almond scented shave with a warm scuttle, warm lather, everything. And now we're gonna grab the Cella Balsamo Dopo Bara aftershave balm since 1899. Yeah, unfortunately, like I said, this is not almond scented. This is more like a generic, kind of a fresh, little powdery, but it's mild to the skin. Doesn't give me any burning sensations. And I like it too. If you have never tried Cella, I'll put some links down below. I will also put a couple links to the razors, non-affiliate of course. I have gotten free razors from Yaqi, but there's no affiliation. They don't pay me for anything. I just like the fact that you can get high quality stainless steel equipment for, you know, less than $300. And if you would buy anything produced domestically here in the United States, that's where you would be, $350 for something similar. Alrighty guys, that is it. That's the comparison that I actually never did. And thanks, if you were the one asking me in the comment section, thanks for that video suggestion. And also, yeah, apologize if I made it sound like this is on the same playing field as the Elbrus made by Home Like Shaving in Russia. Unfortunately, never had a chance to try one of those out. No, they are not for sale anymore. The only one that I found on eBay not too long ago was a titanium Elbrus that looks like this, but made out of polished titanium. And the guy wanted $1,500 for it. And there is just not a single razor out there where I would think $1,500 are justifiable. I don't know. I mean, you know, I'm coming from a normal income level household, I'm not independently wealthy. So if I would be independently wealthy and I would drive a Bugatti as my daily driver, maybe I would buy a $1,500 razor. No big deal. But for me, that would be too high of a, you know, price for entry, I guess, for this exclusive club. But yeah, anyways, that was it. Compared those two slant razors, both made by Yaqi. I appreciate Grace over at Yaqi that she sent those to me, and we'll see what we're gonna come up in the next video. Take care. Bye.